Greetings everybody, we're back. Sorry for our extended leave. We were both hunting wolverines in Canada, but we made off with some good bounty.
But gather around, kids, as we tell an epic story of how the LFs came to be.
Dana Wood was a child prodigy born in the Midwest. She excelled in quantum physics, and by the age of 4, she had disproved Einstein's theory of relativity. This brought her much fame and fortune in the scientific world, and it began to take its toll. By the age of 6, she was hanging around with a bad crowd, smoking crack cocaine and drinking buckets of margaritas on a daily basis. Eventually, she wasted away all of her money and brain cells, and ended up in a cardboard box next to Pirate the Bum in Anascoyo Park.
As the story continues, Danny LeBaire was born in a Nike sweatshop in Kuala Lumpur, where he instantly started stitching t-shirts right out of the womb while attached to the umbilical cord. He became the fastest stitcher in all of Malaysia, achieving fame throughout the sweatshop industry. He applied to UCSB because of his skill in underwater basket weaving. However, upon arriving to UCSB, his hands were badly mauled by a pack of vicious dogs in an abandoned swimming pool. He lost his scholarship, became depressed, strung out on burritos, and started living in the UCSB bus circle.
This brings us to Zach Champion Fritz. Born to an Inuit family in Greenland, as he quickly learned the trade of his father Nanook, ice sculpting. His fame rose as he created the most beautiful ice swans the world had ever seen. Unfortunately, at the height of his fame, the transatlantic pipeline system was built, causing catastrophic global warming, making ice swans impossible to sculpt. He resorted to getting a job at the Santa Barbara Zoo, but he was fired when he was caught setting the polar bears free. He became distraught and forced to live behind the U-Sin, surviving on scraps from Panda Express.
Moving right along, Sarah Cooper was born in the Canadian wilderness to a small Canadian woodchopping family. She was a natural with the axe and quickly became the strongest and best lumberjack in all of Canada. At age 12, her mother asked her to deliver a basket of wood to her grandmother who was out and needed to start a fire. Along the way, she ran into a pack of angry termites who quickly harassed her and chewed through her axe. After losing her axe, she hitched a ride on the back of a lumber truck bound for Santa Barbara. She quickly fell into the underground mahogany scene, eventually becoming flat broke and living in a treehouse and in Anascoyo Park.
Lauren Boswell was born with borders. All that she ever wanted as a child was to be without borders. After graduating high school, she found her niche as a border patrol officer along the U.S.-Mexico border. Even though she was one of the best officers, she still longed to live without borders. She instead became a local politician campaigning on a borderless society. Unfortunately, she could not gather enough support and instead founded a local engineering group called Engineers Without Borders, fulfilling her lifetime goal.
God, that sucked. During a Timberwolves Rocket game late one night, Kevin Garnett was violently being stalked by Yao Ming every time he took it to the basket. His frustration was growing as there was only a minute left and Minnesota was down by 50 points. During one of the timeouts, head coach Flip Saunders handed Garnett a cup of Gatorade and told him to kick ass. Garnett played the game of his life, scoring every point and beating the Rockets 150-80. After the game, Garnett was drenched in sweat and feeling lightheaded. He threw up and headed to bed. Enzymes in the mutant Gatorade that he was given, mixed with Kevin's radioactive sweat, spawned Ryan Kincaid. He tried to make it in the basketball world, but because of the side effects, not being able to jump, he resorted to a career in his father's favorite pastime, jazz, and became a saxophone player.
Josh was born in a hay bale in Atascadero, but was abandoned by his gypsy parents because he was not born with hooves, as expected. He was taken in by a herd of horses and raised on hay and horse milk. He grew up pretty much like any other kid, roaming the fields and neighing when his parents made him go to bed early. At the age of 14, poachers invaded his field and killed his entire herd. He, however, managed to gallop to safety. Hungry and homeless, he caught a glimpse of an Anaheim Mighty Ducks game and instantly fell in love with hockey. He made plans to run to LA, but sadly, He read the North Star wrong and stopped in Santa Barbara. Disillusioned and drunk, he crawled into a public bathroom in Anascoyo Park.
Why was he drunk? Christina Easton just emerged one gloomy day from the UCSB lagoon while the crew team was doing their morning workout. They were scared to death when they saw the algae-covered humanoid. In her right hand she carried a skull, and in the left a frisbee. After seeing the rowers, she quickly switched the disc to her left hand and threw the flick of death. It chopped all the rowers' heads off. She was not accepted by Isla Vista residents or UCSB staff, and was confined to the lagoon and surrounding areas, practicing her backhand and forehand meticulously. Now, you may be wondering how all these stories come together, but as the story goes, one day Alex Sanchez was going on his morning jog through campus and found this ghastly creature sulking by the lagoon. "What's wrong with you?" Alex asked. "Nobody will be friends with me because I chopped their heads off with frisbees," she replied. "Great! I'm putting together a team of super misfits to work at Kerr Hall. Let's go find more." They jogged together by the USEN and found Zach picking through the Panda Express trash can. No words were exchanged. He just joined up with the team and started jogging. They all went by the bus loop and found a poor Malaysian boy with badly cut hands. "Do you think you can type on a computer?" Alex said. "Of course. I was once basket weaving champion of Malaysia." "How hard could typing be?" he said. "Great," Alex exclaimed. "Join the team." "I know where we can find some more misfits," Zach finally spoke up. "Ansacoyo Park. Let's go." True to Zach's word, there was Dana, Sarah, and Josh huddled together for warmth. They were overjoyed at the opportunity to be part of the team. On the way back to Kerr, Alex says that he needs 2 more people to complete the team, so they stop at Stork Plaza, where an Engineers Without Borders meeting is taking place next to the jazz ensemble. "Those 2 look good," Alex said, and the rest of the crew quietly abducted Ryan and Lauren and dragged them back to Kerr Hall, where orientation ensued. And that, my friends, is how the LF Superstars came to be.